So I really believe in having an ethical scope of practice. I think that having an understanding of what you are most qualified to teach and staying within your own boundary, the one that you set, what you feel comfortable teaching, what you feel comfortable offering, and really I care about making sure that what I offer and what I teach is authentic, that it is the most authentic and accurate representation of how I evolved my consciousness and the techniques and the things that I specifically did to get there and for this accumulative effect to have happened. So that's really important to me. I have coffee, if you don't mind. So I first started learning about meditation in my high school history class. In that class, we were learning a lot about different world cultures, and these cultures, we would learn about their religions. So one of the religions that we studied a little bit about was Buddhism. And when I learned about Buddhism, it really introduced me to this idea of peace and meditation. So that's what I got from that class. And those are the things that I started to become more interested in. I was interested in that aspect because Buddhism was very different than the religions that I was being exposed to, the ones that were the most accessible to me, were nothing like Buddhism. So this idea of meditation and peace really was something that I found interesting. I had a lot of anxiety at that time. I felt depressed, I felt anxious, I felt scared, I felt nervous. I had all of these different emotions and electrochemical physiological responses to stimuli happening all of the time. And I really wanted a way out. I was really ready to find this word, peace. I was like, peace. I could use some of that. And so in like 1998, I started, investigating meditation, and it didn't hold my attention, quite the way that it does now. But even at that time, I started to learn very basic meditative techniques. So that was almost, if not 20 years ago. Now, I have lots of different stories about how meditation has been of a use to me and how it has benefited my life, specifically bringing me back to life. When I felt that I was on the threshold of transitioning out of this life experience, I believe that a meditative technique helped me find the appreciation and helped me really focus on my breath and my body and allow myself to relax. And I believe that relaxation is essentially what brought me back to life and allowed me to be here so that I could still be in this carbon-based biological form for just a little longer to find more quality and enjoy my life experience, and in the meantime also share the things that have worked for me. So it started then, and I really started to learn more as I went on because my anxiety wasn't going away, and I knew that it must have something to do with what I'm putting into it. Like, where is my dedication? Am I responsible for my mind all throughout the day? And one thing led to another, and that essentially led me to different types of meditation. Moving meditations in the form of Tai Chi, geometrical meditations, transcendental meditations, stilling meditations, imaginative meditations, all kinds of meditations, Qigong, where you're using meditative technique to move your energy to be more healthy. There are so many different ways to meditate now. It is not just sitting and staring at a blank wall, although it can be. I mean, it certainly could be that, but it is not just that. So there is so much more to a meditative state, even if you deliberately want something out of it. Even if you're using this deliberate meditative technique to accomplish a particular goal, that's okay. The meditation can have a specific technique. That's okay. So a lot of the meditations that I do and that I talk about and that I teach have a specific intention of easing you in to inner peace, mindfulness so that you can see the stream of thought and where you are in real time. And then really learning to choose the stream of thought and the behavior and the action that best serves you, that best helps you reach your goals, and that best helps you find appreciation, love, joy, and peace in this moment. So, in the classroom atmosphere, those are the things that we talk about. We talk about different forms of meditation that you can have in a deliberate practice, and meditative techniques that you can take with you all throughout the day to help you continue to gain the momentum that you began with your dedicated practice. And maybe even you end your day with a dedicated practice, and maybe you even have one in the middle. But while we're at work, while we're at school, while we're hanging out with our friends, I have many techniques that are highly successful and that can really help an individual find a little bit of peace and create a little bit of space. And in that space, they have the opportunity to connect because the energy can flow. And from that connection, there is no description for this, no accurate, good description for how this feels, how that connection feels. But yet we try. So we come up with words like love, like God, heavenly, these types of things, source, the Tao. So when we are in alignment, when we're moving with the way the universe is moving, it's a type of connectivity, a type of sensual connection to our life experience that feels fantastic. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's the optimal human experience to be able to connect on that level. And it's a beautiful, marvelous thing because as human beings, we can recreate and we can exist in the optimal human experience as our state of being. That's super important. So everything that we're talking about is really geared towards that. Modern, because we're living in a very modern society, meditative arts. The best ways that I personally know how, and the ways that we have developed together in really learning how to become more aware over our stream of thought and really learn to master our life experience. Thank you.